This is Chat Night Africa Live. Chat Night Africa Live about to begin from Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. This is Chat Night Africa Live. This is Chat Night Africa Live. On the show today, two guests. Tilda Kumichi from Yaoundé, Cameroon. And the firebrand, Veronica Fortune, live from Washington State. This is Chat Night Africa Live. This is Chat Night Africa Live. This is Chat Night Africa Live. This is Chat Night Africa Live, and your host is Divine Chamoko. This is Chat Night Africa Live. In just a moment, Veronica Fortune, live from Washington State. We will also have the talk show queen, Tilda Kumichi, live from Douala, Cameroon. Chat Night Africa Live. If you're a cardiac patient, this edition is going to be blustery. Not good for you. This is music from Bali, Nyonga, in Africa. This is Chat Night Africa Live. In just a moment, Veronica Fortune from Seattle, Washington State. Your host is Divine Chamakon, host for Chat Night Africa, live from Washington, D.C., metropolitan area. This is music from Bali Nyonga. Hello. Welcome to this broadcast, this special broadcast of Chat Night Africa. As you must have realized, it's going to be effervescent, it's going to be jaunty. Some describe it as volcanic, seismic, line up all the adjectives. And that is because I have two ladies who are going to storm this platform this evening or today. They are described as lionesses, the indefatigable, fearless Veronica Fortune. Some people describe her as very controversial. We'll be connecting live from Seattle, Washington State. And talk show queen Tilda Kumichi will come spitting fire from the valleys of Douala, Cameroon, live. This is Chat Night Africa. Do you know anyone or of anyone who got married or wants to get married with the intention of being unhappy? We all start with one thing in mind. We want to get married because we want to be happy. Unfortunately, more often than not, events lead couples down unintended paths. My friend, the content of this will be pointedly provocative. On the show today are two powerful ladies, Tilda Kumichi and Veronica Fortune. My friend, it's about to get breezy, as right now I connect with Veronica Fortune. Stay tuned. This is Chat Night Africa, and we're going to talk really controversial stuff. This is the queen. Some call her very controversial. Hello, Mrs. Fortune.
Hello, all the way from Seattle. Hello, Chat Night Africa. Hello, Divine Chamakon. Hello, all my friends and families and viewers. Yes.
Caution, this show is extremely dangerous for cardiac patients. So if you're a cardiac patient, you might as well just walk away. This is going to be very spicy. Are you ready for the showdown, Mrs. Fortune?
Bring it on.
Very good. Mrs. Fortune says, it is time we put all cards on the table. We tiptoe around this issue for too long.
Bring the elephants. Bring out the elephants in the house.
There is going to be fire today, fire and brimstone. Now question number one. Why is it the man's or the woman's responsibility to go above and beyond, to bend backwards, to keep her husband from going after other competitors, other women outside?
You know, when I saw that question, I was like, okay. By the way, happy Mother's Day to other mothers in the house, to other women in the house, because every woman is a potential mother. Now, I don't think that it's any woman's responsibility to keep her man or husband at home from going after other women. But here's what I'll say. It is a woman's duty to do the things that she's called to do as a wife. You got to do your husband in such a way that he will not be able to look at another woman out there. You know what I mean? I was watching Dr. Myers, Monroe Myers. He said, my wife does me so good that when I look at other women, they're just like, you know, I lost appetite.
It's like other women are speaking Chinese. It's like other women are speaking Chinese.
Exactly. So he said, my wife do me so good. And what does he mean? I'm going to give you an example. One morning, I hope we don't have any children in the house.
No.
When I came down in the kitchen, I was just dressed so sexy and just wearing very revealing and something hot in the morning. And I got in the kitchen. Mr. Fortune was about to go to work, and then he stopped me to the kitchen, surprised. Was like, damn, wow. And he almost didn't go to work that morning. That's what I'm talking about.
You know you can cause your husband to get fired? All right, but go on.
So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. You make it in such a way that your husband is always on and hot for you. He's always desiring you. The way you look, how you smell, how you keep your home, how you present it to him. Presentation matters, you know. If you really want to kill it for him, some women just come back from work. Let's say a majority of us these days are nurses. We come back from work and we don't even change our scrubs. You don't change what you're wearing, and you're in the kitchen with the same thing you went to work with. Your hair's all sweaty, perspiring, you're smelling, and some women even go to bed with that. Trust me, if that man will turn around and look at you, it's just because what he wants from you is what men need, is not a want. When he's done, yeah. So do it in such a way that you remain appetizing for your husband. The way you look, how you present it to him, how you present yourself, the way you guys met, keep it that sexy. You know what I mean? Keep it that sexy. I will tell you that 80% of the times when I go to bed, I don't wear nothing. Oh no, we're not hiding. Now we're speaking. Let's get down to business.
Absolutely.
I don't wear nothing. I sleep practically naked in such a way that Mr. Fortune's hands cannot get off me all night. He can't take his hands off me. Tell me, if you're in that mood, why would your husband want to look at somebody else in the outside when he's got it all? He's got it all. You go to bed smelling good, nice, clean. Make sure you're all the way from your head to your toe. You know, how would he want to look at somebody else out there? And then the other secret is that here is a mistake we make. We think that men want sex. Men don't want sex. Men need sex. Sex is a need. They need sex in order to function. Sometimes we have babies, we get pregnant, and we are so overwhelmed taking care of our babies and taking care of the home that we turn to neglect that part. But I will tell you, if you want a man that is naughty, he's rowdy, a man that becomes violent sometimes, check very well. How long have you gone without giving him the food that he needs? It's a need. It's not a want. We turn around and say that man overlikes sex too much. Trust me, the way the male testosterone is designed in such a way that men have to release. If they don't release, they don't function well. So here is the thing, women. Men don't want sex. They need it. It's a need.
I've heard some women complain that some men are asking for it too much. They're being gluttonous. Is there something like too much of it?
What I'll say is that sometimes our men will have to be considerate and do self-restraint in a case where you have a wife that probably she just had a baby, or she's went through a C-section and she needs to heal, or then you have to be concentrate and restrain yourself and have how can I say, restrain yourself and be considerate of your wife in those times. But other than that, I don't think anything is too much. I wish I was in a position where I could just do Mr. Fortune probably 3 times a day. Oh yeah, just get him crazy.
This woman is going
That's
to
your
bring down the house
husband.
today.
He's your husband. You didn't borrow him from somewhere. I'm telling you, there are days that I have to follow him and he'll be running. I say, Abi, you want it now? Now you're running away from it. Come now, come.
Mrs. Fortune. Mrs. Fortune one that should bring down the house today. Let me ask you this question, Mrs. Fortune.
Yes.
Before I thought of doing this program and invited you on, I talked to a lot of men around. And the complaint I heard from a lot of men as concerned sex is that their wives are weaponizing it. They're using it as a weapon. Okay, the day that Mr. goes and buys a lot of, or maybe buy Samsung S Plus, 10S Plus, or S9 or what, S10, now, mommy is available. The day that Oga is not available to do all those things or doesn't have money, it becomes a condition to do either provide those things or you don't get this. I wanted to react to that.
That is, women, that is very dangerous. I'm going to say that is very dangerous and very dangerous. Because
how is it dangerous?
Here, I've said it. I lay the foundation by saying that sex is not something that your husband wants. It's something that he needs. And if you're not going to give it to him, don't be surprised if our sister patience in the church is ready and available to give it to him, and then he falls. You have yourself to blame. You cannot use sex as a weapon to get what you want from your husband. I know women are designed in such a way that we need things. We see things, we want them. But we have to be responsible. That is not everything that you see that you want. The Bible says, I'm going to use the Bible. The Bible says that when the two of you are married, now my body right now doesn't belong to me anymore. It belongs to my husband, including that thing you're carrying. It's not yours anymore. I tell Mr. Fortune, I said, if you want it, babe, just go ahead. Go ahead and start. Don't be acting like it's yours. Handle it like it's yours. When something is yours, how do you handle it? Handle it like it's yours. So you cannot withhold. The Bible says it's wrong. It's a sin. You can't do that. Don't use sex as a weapon to get what you want from your husband. It is wrong. Very, very wrong. Like you said, if something happens, blame yourself. Because first of all, God knew exactly what he was doing when he designed it. If you withhold the sex from your husband, he will get it from somewhere else, because that's something that he needs to function.
This is Chat Night Africa Live, and today, as you have witnessed from the start, it's going to be fire and brimstone. We will go on for about 45 minutes, and then we have another talk show, Firebrand. When she comes, there'll be fireworks on this platform. That's Tilda Kumichi. She will be joining us. She'll be joining us from Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I was watching this Nigerian guy. He says in his video that ladies like church men, Christian men, because when they deny them this or that, all they do is they pick up their Bible or go for Bible study. I want you to react to that.
Okay. Yes, before I come to that, somebody was saying that you only say no when there's understanding from both parties. Here, the Bible make an analogy to the fact that if you're going to fast, the two of you must agree. If your husband does not give you permission, he says, if you're going to go fast, you don't go to God for permission. You go to your husband. And he must be in agreement with the fact that you have to fast. It doesn't say go to God to go to your husband. So you must be in agreement. If your husband says no, trust me, you can't do it. You can't say that I'm fasting. God, no. God says go to your husband. He didn't say come to me for permission to fast. He says go to your husband. So we established that if the two of you agree, then you're able. But as soon as you're done fasting, find yourself back to his bedroom fast, lady, quick, because it's past due. All right. Okay, Needy, repeat my question, please.
Yeah, the question, I was watching this Nigerian famous guy. He does a lot of videos. And he says in his video that ladies like these church people, church husbands, because when they deny them sex or deny them anything, what they do, the man really wouldn't go after other women or the competition. The man turns to his Bible as a consoling factor. I wanted to react to that. Is that why women go for Christian men? Or should that be the reason?
If you find a man whose heart is after the Lord, you win a jackpot. I will say that. Truly after the Lord. But if you're going to be going to church to look for a godly man, every man who goes to church is not a godly man. Doesn't have his heart in the right place. Here's the reality of what's going on. Dr. Colette Gante, I'll give you the Bible verse that talked about the man and the woman agreeing in fasting. There's a Bible verse. I'll give it to you. So now, every man who goes to church is not necessarily a man of God or somebody whose heart is in the right place, right? So if you're going to go to church to look for a man like that because you think that if you withhold sex from him, and by the way, in the first place, withholding sex from your husband is a sin. We shouldn't even be talking about that. Women need to get out of why will you be withholding sex from your husband in the first place? That is a question I'm asking. Are you sick? Are you something going on, or you're in a place where, but if you're just in a habit of not wanting to give your husband sex, so because now, then it's a problem. So using a godly man, when we establish a fact that it's not everybody who is in the church that's a godly man. There's a notion where society has placed a lot of men in a very bad place. Why do I say that? There are a lot of men that are going through tough times. They're going through their own personal challenges. But because they're afraid of what society will say, they don't come out to voice their frustration. Men do not express themselves. You're going to think that you go to church to find a godly man, and when you withhold sex from him, he's going to turn to the Bible verse. Let me tell you, internally, that man is going through his own personal challenges. He might not want to say it to you. Some of them don't express themselves because they don't want to feel like they're weak, or what we call them that you're a pussy man. But you know what? That man, the same testosterone that runs through every other man runs through a Christian man. You think Christian men don't need sex, or Christian men? The need for sex is for every man across the board. It doesn't matter whether the man sleeps in the church, whether he's your pastor, whether he's a bishop. You remember that he's first of all a man before he's a man of God. So satisfy his need as a man. Let God and the Holy Spirit deal with the spiritual part. Hallelujah. So do your part. He's a man before he's a man of God. And while he's a man, he does need sex. So don't tell me that you're going to church to look for a godly man because if you withhold sex, the man will turn to his Bible. If you withhold sex, that's why you see a lot of these men of God are falling. If you keep sex from him, he will get it from another place. Forget whether he's a man of God or not.
Mrs. Fortune, now, please just adjust your, we're seeing just a little bit above your eyelids. Okay, very good. You are right, you are fine. You are fine, Mrs.
Are we good now?
You are good now.
Okay.
Why are you so public about your relationship with your husband? Is it to chase away the hawks? Some people say show.
Oh yeah, if you have something you're proud of, you better be show. You know, that was your problem. You don't want to show, that's your issue. Let me say this. The secret, I found out that there's a secret. Men dwell very well in praises. Whether you praise him in private or you praise him in public, I show my husband because I'm proud of him. I'm proud of what I have. And I don't need to put it under the table. It's like you light a lamp and then you want to hide it. No. See, when I met him, I told him, I said, I can stand on top of the mountain and I scream. Anybody who doesn't want to hear is their problem. Huh? Okay. Men don't dwell well in criticism. Men love praises. The man was created in the image of God. God loves to be worshipped. If you want, this is another secret. I'm telling you, women, take it from me. If you want your husband to do better than he is now,
Spill the beans here, Mrs. Fortune.
praise your husband. Praise him in public and in secret. If a man who you have your husband and he doesn't want public praise, there's a problem. Find out if true he's your husband. There's no man born of a woman who does not like to be praised. So I praise my husband, and in the public and in the open, every opportunity I have to appreciate my husband, even in public, I will do it because he's deserving of the praise. Here is it. You don't have to have a perfect husband in order for you to praise him. Look at the good things that your husband is doing, even if he's trying. Forget about the fact that he peed and he didn't wipe the toilet seat. That's very minute. Forget about if that man you have is trying and doing his best to be a better husband and a man. He's deserving of the praise. Praise him of the things he's doing. Let me tell you, if your husband comes home carrying a small bag of grocery and you say, oh my God, daddy, and you praise him, that man will be carrying 3 bags of grocery the next time. A man who walks through the door and the kids are shouting and screaming, "Dad is home, Dad is home, Dad is home." Let me tell you, it sparked something in the man's brain and in the man's ego. That's what men like, whether we like it or not. And we ought to get to that point where we need to start looking at the good things and giving credit. Just don't look at the bad things he's doing. Praise him even for the good things he's doing. Even if he does, there's some things that my husband will do that I don't like. I've learned not to overemphasize on it, because sometimes some things will really get you angry and want to talk about it, and you hammer the point over and over and over and over, but then move past that. And if the man is trying, he's trying to be a good father, let me tell you, the man might not even know what to do. But if he's trying, there's so many things concerning families and women that the men don't know. But if the man is trying his best to be a good father, to be a good husband, he buys you something from Ross and not from Dillard's. Take it and show him appreciation. So I praise my husband in the open because I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the man that I marry, right? It's not because I want to chase. Oh, that's another, yeah, maybe I'm just trying to tell every other person to back off, back off. Maybe that sometimes I just draw the line and say, you see this one right here, yeah, just stay away from
back
it.
off.
Huh? Yes, back off, because
one of the complaints I heard from some men was that their wives take them for granted. I'd like you to explain what that means, take them for granted, and they just don't get compliments at all from their wives.
It's just what I just said, that if your husband is trying, like I said, there are a lot of men who do not hear, they don't get any appreciation from their wives. Even the little that the man is doing, he doesn't get anything. And that is so wrong. You ought to appreciate your husband for the things that he's trying to do. He might not be the ideal man that you marry, but make him that ideal man. Here is one thing I will say. The Bible makes it clear. When God created man, right? He created woman as a helpmate. He created woman as a helpmate. So God already gave man the place. So woman, you're coming to help your husband realize his vision. You're not coming with your own vision to impose it on him. You're coming to help him realize his vision. So if you don't understand what your husband's assignment is, help him realize what his assignment is. Ask questions, be inquisitive. Ask him, baby, honey, What are you planning to do in the next 10 years as concerns family, children, my life? And know where your husband is. If your husband has a dream and a vision, help him realize that vision. Men love that. Women that will drive them to success. Women that will drive them to success. So appreciate your husband. If he's trying, don't come home and start nagging and nagging and nagging and reminding him how you make more than he does. That is not correct. A lot of our men are suffering because they try and they don't get any appreciation and they give up. And then a small side chick will show up. And these girls know how to play it well. They really know how to play it well. They will just be singing praises in this man's ears and giving him some soft words and doing all of the things that the man really wants to hear and touching him in the right place, sugar daddy, baby. They will wash his feet. They will even kiss his anus and do all sorts of crazy things. And men desire those praises. If our women start to praise their husbands like that, trust me, side chicks will eventually just disappear. I'm so serious, because the side chicks are doing the things that the men want by giving praise. You see, when a man goes to see his side chick, before he even comes through the door, the girl is already at the door opening the door. They will set food on the table. They will bring water for him to wash his hands. They will take off his clothes and do stuff and do things like that. Ladies, let's be in the habit of appreciating our husbands, even for the little things that they make an effort to do.
Somebody says it goes both ways. Of course, we know that. Now, the reason why we're talking more about women, because we're celebrating
Today
women.
is Women's Day.
Exactly. I can tell you on Father's Day, we will come down really, really hard on men. So, men, you are not out of the woods. So, your turn is going to come. That will be on Father's Day. Madam Veronica Fortune, what are some of the things that send a man away from home after work into the arms of a waiting lady somewhere downtown?
Of a side chick? Here is the secret. Ladies, do you have your notebooks and your pens? Take them out. Here is the secret. Men don't dwell well in criticism. If you're constantly criticizing your husband, he's never going to come home. He will not come home. And that includes part of the nagging. You're always finding faults. You will criticize him. You will do this. Or you ask him to buy you a 3 something and he brought 2. Instead of saying thank you for the 2, but you forgot 1, we're going to pound on the fact that he didn't bring that 1 home. And you will make it a problem. If you're constantly always pointing the wrong things that your husband is doing, that man will not come home. Home will become hell for him. Home will be a place where he doesn't want to come to. And let's forget about even talking about clean environments, cooking good foods, and all of that. A man does not dwell well in criticism. Men, if you want your husband to come home, praise him. Look for the good things he's doing and give him praise. And you see how your husband come home every evening. And then you thank me later.
This is Chat Night Africa. And after Veronica will be Tilda Kumichi. She will come and blow off the place.
Mama Mercy, don't worry. The men, when Father's Day is coming, we'll deal with the men. Right now, we're doing with Women's Day.
And gentlemen, ladies, I assure you, we'll be doing another special on Father's Day, and we'll be taking it on men also. We will actually go after those areas. You saying all this, pick up a pen. You think these women don't know this? You think they don't know it?
I'm not sure that we don't know, or is I cannot really put my finger on that question. The tendency is that many of us have gotten married the wrong way. We are in wrong relationships. The foundation of our relationship is faulty. And so we are spending time trying to fix the foundation than leave the marriage, than leave what you're required to be in a marriage ongoing. We come into marriages with wrong conception and perceptions. Wrong, we said the wrong thing. So you're already coming thinking that a lot of women are looking for ready-made husbands. And when they come and the man is not ready-made, they're not ready to help the man be made. They just want to find a man that is already made so they can just come in and have it easy. Oh no, marriage is an empty room it's an empty gift room where you put in the gift you like in that room. If you want a Gucci bag, you're going to have to buy the Gucci bag and put in that room. If you want a Mercedes car, you're going to have to work with a man to buy the Mercedes car and put in that room. If you want a 5-bedroom or 6-bedroom or multi-million house, you're going to have to work to make it happen. When you come into marriage, the room is empty. There's nothing in it. Everything that is inside, you're going to have to work to deposit it. So, but many of us don't know that. We already think that the room is full of presents and we're just going to enjoy it. No, we're not ready to put the work. And part of putting the work is understanding who you marry. Many of us do not know the people that we marry. We don't. A lot of women don't understand who their husbands are. And tonight, I will challenge us women that we need to sit down. When you go home tonight, ask yourself, do you really know your husband? Do I really know my husband? Do I know what he likes? If I ask every woman watching me today, what's your husband's favorite color? Would you know? What's your husband's favorite color?
They may not know because maybe they don't get it.
That's it. If you don't know your husband's favorite color, then you're missing some things. If you don't know things like that, it means you don't know who you marry. We got to be curious to find out the things in the man's life. If you like somebody, let me tell you, I know to the white hair on Mr. Fortune's hair, sometimes he's like, when he doesn't remember even my phone number, I want to get angry, and then I understand that men are the way they are, but women are detailed. That I know his phone number, I know all those little details about him because I care that much. If you care about the man you marry, know about him. Many women don't take the time to know who their husbands is. I will put it, study your husband and know who he is and know how you can step on his toe and not step on his toe and push him and how you can do it. If you know the man you marry, let me tell you, you have gold in your hand. Like seriously.
Communication in a relationship is as blood is to the body. What's your comment on that?
It is. You know, they two must agree. And how do you agree? You must agree by being able to break certain barriers, by talking, by communicating. Mr. Fortuna, we've come a long way. We're not 100% there yet, but our communication has gotten really, really better, and things have gotten better over time with the fact that you can be able to communicate and talk about certain things with your spouse and your husband without no limitations. Here is the thing. We have, because we have this thing of me, myself, and me wanting my space. I hear a lot of people say, I need my space. I need my private space. No, we cannot have this. That is one of the barriers to effective communication in the marriage. When you decide that you're wanting personal space. I don't know what personal space is all about when the two of you are married. What is married about? The two become one. And how are you going to be talking about personal space when you're married? And the issue with people having a lot of difficulty communicating, I already talked about it. We don't know who we marry. Some of us just marry because we have to get married. We're not connected to the people that we married physically, spiritually, emotionally. Because if you're connected, let me tell you, the way I'm connected to my husband, Mr. Fortune, I'll tell Mr. Fortune doesn't have muscles, right? He's not a masculine guy. But I can tell you that in the process, when he's on top, I see muscles all over his body.
You're crazy today, man. You're crazy today. Match fire, girl. Match fire.
I told him the other day, I said, you don't have muscles. But when you and I, when we're locked in soul, body, and spirit, I see muscles all over his body, you know? And that's how it's supposed to be. Or somebody say, oh boy, oh yeah. So you need to get to that point where you're with your husband like that. We cannot be living in our homes like we are acquaintances. We need to get past that. You know, I'm so sick and tired of marriages breaking and people just tolerating each other rather than enjoying each other. Now we're real. Let's be real.
We've got to be real today.
We want to save our marriages. We need to do what, marriage requires.
In about 10 minutes, we'll be bringing in the next guest. But the other question, I have two quick questions for you. This man complains that his wife is just so rude. She just doesn't know or cultivate the habit of saying something the right way. What is the right way? Is this man not being over demanding? Asking for the right way?
You know, he's not far from it. We're in the culture. No, let's be real. I'm speaking the truth because it's by God's grace that God has to literally take me out of that place to where I am now. You know, a lot of our women in this century are rude and arrogant, and that's why they're having it difficult in their home. That's the simple truth. And we already talked about the fact that men don't dwell in criticism. Men don't dwell in rudeness. There's a way to speak to your husband. God designed marriage to mirror our relationship with him. Think about it. If the man is the head of the family, as Christ is the head of the church, which means that the two correlate together. How do you treat Christ? Many of us women, we adore our pastors. We adore our bishops. We worship them. We bow down to greet them. But you go home, that husband that God has designed, and he tells you to respect your husband the same way you treat Christ, but you don't treat him, you go to the church. That's hypocrisy. That reverence you're giving to your pastor is not accepted in the eyes of the Lord, because you're not treating your husband the same. The example has to start from your husband. If you cannot bow down, if you cannot give your husband reference, if you cannot respect him in the midst of his friends and families and all of that, and you want to go respect your pastor. So the rudeness, I don't understand. Here's the thing, this woman probably does not like the man. She probably does not love the man. She came into the marriage with the wrong notion that the man was something else, and then she came into the marriage and found that he's a different thing. And that's what is going on in a lot of marriages. Women come in with a preconceived notion of what they want a man to be. Like, women are materialistic. That's very natural. We are created to want things. And so you probably come and meet a man that you were expecting would be in a duplex or probably in a multi-million house, and the man is in an apartment. In that woman's eyes, the man has lost points. His points have decreased because we don't understand the biblical role of the woman. Your biblical role is that if the man is in that apartment and you need a multi-million house, help him so that he can be able to achieve that dream of getting a multi-million house. But don't get a multi-million house and then you get there and you say, no, I don't want that now. I want a 2 million house because you saw your friend having a 2 million house, because that's what some of us women do. We drive our husbands crazy with our greed and our need. We need to tone it down. If that man is trying to provide a roof over your head and he's trying to be a father and provide for you and your kids, don't appreciate him. The more you're rude to your husband, you're going to lose him, because he's going to meet somebody with a sweet mouth. And that man is not going to come home. You're going to call him 20 times. He won't answer his phone, and you'll be surprised because you've taken advantage of him for this long. And the minute he meets Sister Agatha, and Sister Agatha is treating him, then you will know what it means. Women, if you have a good man, if the man is trying his best, please help that man to grow, to be the ideal man that you want for yourself. No other woman. You see the reason why, Needy, you said something that I kind of praised my husband in the open. Oh, ladies, you know what I put? No woman is going to want to come and take something that is ready made. You don't know what work has been done in the background to have that. So don't even, let's draw the line right there. No, get yours and put in the work for him to be who you want him to be. Yes.
Mrs. Veronica Fortune connecting live from Seattle, Washington State. Mrs. Veronica, you're on fire on this show today.
Now, we're being real.
And we've got to get real, because somehow the churches tiptoe around this, families tiptoe around this, husband and wife, they tiptoe around issues instead of talking the issues. Listen, you avoid talking about something, that thing doesn't go away because you don't want to talk about it.
It doesn't. The problem you run away from, tomorrow you will face it. You will face it again, and even in a more worse shape than it was today.
Question for you.
You got to handle those things. Yes.
Question for you. Now, when you show so much love, I would even put it this way. When you drown your husband with love, when you suffocate him, you soak him wet in love, don't you run the risk that he takes you, one, for granted, or he thinks you are desperate? Because some women think that if they did what you are suggesting, the men could think they are desperate.
What will I say? You're married to a boy and not to a man. Because any mature man, that's what they want. And that's what they need, not want. Any mature man that was ready to get married and he got married and he has a wife like that, trust me, that's what every man needs. So if you have a man you're married to and he thinks that you overshowing love is that you're desperate, he's still a boy. He's not a man yet. He was not ready to get married. That's what I would say in this context. Because every mature man is desiring to have a woman that will show them love, shower them love. Do you know what it means? Who says that a woman cannot offer her husband a brand new car? Who says a woman cannot buy her husband expensive gifts? Who says a woman cannot? Who puts the rule that the woman is only the man that is supposed to give a gift? On Mother's Day, the husband has to buy the wife a gift. No, let me tell you, today's Mother's Day. Mr. Fortune did not offer me any special Mother's Day gift. You know why? Because every day, out of the blue, he surprises me every now and then with gifts. And women have to practice that too. I surprise him with gifts to the point where at this point he's even telling me, babe, please stop. Now he's just become a child. I'm just spoiling him. Let me tell you, I can't hold myself. When you love your man and you love your husband, that's what you do. Automatically, when I'm shopping for myself, I see something for my husband. Sometimes I don't even feel I want to buy something. I just want to buy. I just want to, you just want to make your husband happy. When you love the man crazy, you show it. Love is not love when it's not shown. Ladies, take the risk and show your husband love. If the man does not reciprocate your love and he rejects your love and he thinks that you're stupid, then I'll tell you that you're married to a boy. But any mature man you're married to and you show him love, trust me, he will welcome it and he will speak well of you. He will adore you. He will treat you well. He will, I reap the fruits of my labor. The labor I put, when I'm cooking, I don't just cook anyhow. Let me tell you, when I'm cooking, I don't just cook anyhow. I tell the Holy Spirit, I say, Holy Spirit, salt must not pass in this food. Oh, this food must taste good. It must. So when I share with my husband eats, when he's at work and I said I'm cooking this, he cannot wait to get home because he knows that the aroma of that food is cooked with so much love. It's cooked. I enjoy cooking.
I have the last question for you, and then after you answer that, there'll be some beautiful music that aligns with the theme, and that will usher in Tilda Kumichi live. She's on standby now, live in Douala. Final question. Proverbs 31 woman. What does that mean?
Yeah. Here is the thing. Some truths about Proverbs 31 woman. When we read Proverbs 31, we always start from verse 10. A virtuous woman who can find. And then we start listing all of those things that Proverbs 31 woman can do. How she wakes up early in the morning, how she's hardworking, how she does this, and she provides for her kids. Her children don't go cold. Her husband is known at the gate. They respect her husband and stuff like that. But let me tell you, Proverbs 31 woman, Proverbs was written for a man, a mother giving advice to her son, the king, telling him, this is the kind of woman you should marry. The Proverbs 31 woman does not exist. We strive to be that godly woman that God has designed us to be. You want to be a godly woman. Look at your role as a Christian woman. What is your assignment as a helpmate? Why did God create you and put you as a helpmate? To help that man. If you marry, so men, we're supposed to keep this to Father's Day. Have a vision for yourself before you get married. Because if you marry a woman without a vision, both of you are going to get lost, because you have to come with a vision, and your helpmate helps you to realize that vision, helps you to realize that which God has put you to do. So Proverbs 31 woman was an advice to a son. It's not the ideal to say that women are supposed to be the Proverbs 31 woman. It was an advice given to that king to say, this is the kind of woman you should marry. All right. So we read Proverbs 31 from verse 10, and we forget the first 9 verses that come before. We need to go read it. When you read the first 9 verses, you realize that it was an advice given to the king.
What are your last words? What are your last words on your final advice in bullet point format?
So, okay. It's Proverbs 31 woman is a good mother to emulate. But don't kill yourself to feel that you're a failure because you're not up to the standard of the Proverbs 31 woman. If you marry a man, we need to realize that we came as a helpmate to help our husbands achieve their goal. When your husband is prospering in his vision, trust me, it triggers down into the family. It is shown down in the family. When you marry your husband and he's digressing and he's not progressing, check yourself. Woman, check yourself, because that role lies ultimately in you. The role that we play in the lives of the men is correlating with the same role that the Holy Spirit plays. The Holy Spirit is our helper. He's designed to help. But guess what? He's not coming to help an empty person. You got to give the Holy Spirit something to work with. That is why you need to have a vision, men, before you marry, so that when the woman is helping you, she's helping you realize your vision, not you realizing her own vision that she puts on the table for you. Women, men don't dwell well in criticism. Men don't dwell well when you bash them. Men don't dwell well when you insult them. Men don't dwell well when you put them down. Men don't dwell well when you try to compete and take the place of the man. I know that in this day and age, we can open the doors for ourselves. We can do things for ourselves. We're able to wash our cars by ourselves. We're able to take care of the bills and take care of things by ourselves. We are gradually usurping the role that the man has been placed to play in our lives. Some of these men grow up learning how to open doors, and then they come to you and you say, no, I can take care of myself. And then the man doesn't have anything to do in your life. Then he goes to find somebody where he can be useful, and then we're angry. Let that man be useful. Let him do what he's called to do. Let him open the doors. Let him break the wood. Let him be the one that we use. Let him be the one to change the light bulb. Let the man be the man to take your cars to the garage. Let the man be the man. Don't batch your husbands. If you want your husband to come home, shower him with praises. Nothing says that women cannot offer gifts to their husband, and expensive ones, of course. I am looking forward in actually upgrading my husband's Mercedes Benz when I get to that place where I have, I can afford it. But right now, yeah, when I can afford it, I will upgrade his Mercedes Benz. All I got to do is just say, babe, pick your choice. What do you want? He's deserving it. So if you have a man that is doing all he can, Mr. Fortune makes it easy. A man who wakes up in the morning, takes the baby to the babysitter, drops the baby off at the babysitter, picks the baby after work, comes home, trying to cook. When I come home, I'm not supposed to go through that. When your husband is doing his best, he might not do it the way you want. He cleans the house and it's not as clean as you want it. Appreciate him for it. Men love that. And it will be well with our homes.
Thank you so much. And that has been the outspoken, sometimes controversial Veronica Fortune. Veronica Fortune has been participating live from Seattle, Washington State. By the way, congratulations to your loving husband, Valerie. He backed the masters, double masters. Everything na double, double. Na double, double. Everything na double, double. Na triple, triple.
You see, that success in a man reflects the kind of woman he marries. I'm going to conclude with that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And
thank you for having me on, Nidhi. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I have, yes, go ahead, please. You wanted to say something.
I saw a viewer who says that when he gets married, he's going to send his wife over for the weekend. You're so welcome. I'm so ready to give some lessons, because we're so tired of broken homes and some of these men going so frustrated to the point where it's just because men they're not as outspoken as women. Like some of these men will be crying. They will be crying because they're going through hell. Ladies, trust me, if we begin to lay the right foundation for these men, they will stay home. Side chicks will have no role to play. Trust me, let's put them out of business. You want to reach out to me? Yes.
Mrs. Fortune, I'm sure any woman who tries to entice your husband, it'd be like she'd be hearing Chinese. Ching chang, chang yang, chang chang, chang chang. Not understand. Because Valerie is getting more than enough from home. Thank you.
Thank you. And good night, everybody. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you. As you exit, we will bring in another guest. Another guest is coming on live from Cameroon. That's from Douala, Cameroon. Before she comes on, Chat Night. Chat Night Africa Live. In just a moment, we bring in Tilda Kumichi from Yaoundé, from Cameroon.
I want you to be mine. I want you by my side. Be my girl. I want you to be my angel. To guide me when I go. I want you by my side. Be my girl.
On Manfredon, Balater. Poun moun pa ka bouger. Sakai. In just a moment, Tilda Kumichi, live from Douala, Cameroon on Chat Night Africa Live. Your host is Divine Chamukong. And I see Tilda Kumichi on the line from Douala, Cameroon.
She told me the other day. And when she gave me that funny kiss, I understood what she meant by from the Lord. She gave me that word for love.
This is Chat Night Africa.
And she really doesn't. What is it that every man prays for?
And all of you watching the show,
Old man,
enjoy this one.
then I knew, oh, she'll be mine, oh,
This is Chat Night Africa Live.
in my hand, oh,
We bring you matters that matter. Can we now sing together? Come on. One more time. One more time. Okay, I want you to be mine on Chat Night Africa Live. And right away, ladies and gentlemen, we are traveling to Douala, Cameroon, where we meet now. This is Tilda Kumichi. Tilda Kumichi appears in just a moment, and she is Firebrand. That's Tilda. Hello, Tilda. Hello, Tilda. Hello, Tilda.
Hi, Divine.
How are
Hi
you?
to everyone.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
good.
People have been waiting.
Yeah, my room is a bit dark, so
That's okay.
but I'm sure that
You are fine. You are fine. I know you are in Douala. Yes, you are fine now on the camera. You are fine. Keep steady.
thank you.
All right. Thank you, first of all, for accepting to come on the show. Your daughter, your beautiful daughter, Mildred, is watching. Your thousands of
yeah.
fans are watching. And please, if you like what you are hearing, share this broadcast. The idea behind all of this is so that we can save relationships. Divorce has devastating consequences.
Mhm.
On Father's Day, we will be coming down hard on the other side. Now, some women are already saying, this is too much hard work. This is just too much to do. If this is what it takes to keep it blissful, to keep it sweet, I'm sorry, this is too much. Tilda, everybody gets married to be happy. But as I said in the beginning, at the start of the show, what we see is like you want to catch a flight to Germany and instead bought the plane that's going to Mexico. You want to marry and be happy, but you do everything, sometimes inadvertently, to be unhappy. Tilda, what is going on in our society? You've been resolving so much conflicts in marriages. What is going on? What should a woman do to keep this man, to keep her man off the laps and
Thank you
off
very
the
much.
arms of women, other women who are just waiting,
Thank you.
praying that, and
Of
maybe
course.
saying, the Lord is my shepherd, he leadeth me to green pastures, when the man
Yes.
strays into our arms. What should women do?
Thank you very much, Divine. Thank you so much, and hello to everyone. In fact, speaking after my woman of God, Veronica Fochu, is like I'm just coming to add on because she has said it all. I want to first of all say, Divine, that every woman has the power to make or mar her marriage. Every woman has the power to make her marriage enjoyable and has the power to break it, to destroy it. And this is through very many simple ways. Veronica has said it all. You know, there are few things that we women do that are not the best. I will name a
This is Chat Night Africa Live, and you are listening to, yes, go ahead.
keeping a husband is not a difficult thing. It only needs the creativity of the woman to be able to keep her husband. The first thing is that you have to make your husband feel secured. Every woman, if you don't make your partner to feel secured, he will feel insecure around you. How do you make your husband to feel secured? Supposing your husband is coming back from work and you're at home and he's coming back with his friends. Then when he gets to the door, you are just sitting there, you just relax, you don't care about him. You don't even welcome him back home. He gets
Looking at
into the
WhatsApp.
house. Yes, he greets you, you are busy on your phone, or you just tell the house girl to go get your husband's whatever. That is not welcoming, and it makes the man to feel insecure, feel disgraced even in front of his friends. Then you see him wanting to think that, no, this is not the right place where I should be. There are many little things that we women do for our husbands not to feel secure. Veronica just talked about cooking for him. If you don't cook often for your husband, you allow your children to cook for your husband, you allow your house help to cook for your husband always, then your husband will not even feel secured with your food. The day you even cook the food, he will feel like, should I eat this food? Therefore, we need to make them to feel secured. The next thing is that you have to take the lead to bed. I like the way Veronica expatiated on that. Taking the lead to bed means, I don't know anywhere where it is said that only the man invites a woman to bed. I have told many women during counseling sessions that you just have to go out of the box. Come out of the box. We have been placed in a certain box. We have stayed there and we think that it is regular. Come out of the box and do something that is different. Invite your husband to bed. Lead him to bed. Lead him to have sex with you. Then he will feel that you appreciate him, you want him, and you love him. Most of us think that sex was made only for men to take the lead. That is where many women have failed. And I'm here to say that when you do that, you are leading your husband not to bed, but out of the home. You are leading him out of bed and out of home. We have to be honest. You know, many women are not honest with their husbands. You have to be honest with your husband. I am just a woman, but if you tell me, if you tell me that I should wait here, you are coming, I am waiting here, and all I know is that you're coming. If you don't come, tell me that something has happened. This comes up with communication. You have to be honest. Communicate honestly. Most of us women, because we want to catch up with other things, we tend to tell lies to our husbands. They may not make you know that they know you're lying, but they know you're lying. And once they know you're lying, it derails them. It takes them away from you because you are not being honest. Be honest to him. Tell him that you are not going to have sex today because you have a problem. Be honest. Don't go nagging. Tell him you don't want to have sex with him because he has not taken a bath, because you feel that he's dirty. Tell him that and lead him to the bathroom. Why don't you jump into the bathroom and invite him there? So you both can have a bath. Tell him that, look, honey, your underwears are not always clean. Why can't you even buy the underwears for him? I was talking to some women a few days ago, and I told them, if you want to have a clean man, make him clean. Marriage is a union of two people who do not know each other, two unknown people come together and they try to make each other well known to the other. You try to get to know your partner and your partner tries to get to know you. If you discover that your partner is not of the clean type, is not the hygienic type, you can make him hygienic. Why not? If you think that his socks are smelling, they are torn, you can just simply replace those socks. You can go to the market and buy new stockings, come and put there and replace those one. Or his underwears, just change them. He will appreciate them. Sometimes men become so busy that they forget some essential things. And sometimes some of them don't just know that it is offensive. So rather than you just refusing sex from your husband because maybe he is offensive in bed, his body odor is not, why don't you buy him body spray? We need to be honest to them, be open, speak your emotions, don't keep them. Most of us women, when we get angry and upset with our husbands for one little thing that they don't even know, we just close up. We close up and we get so frustrated, we just don't speak up. Speak out your emotions. Those are some of the things that will keep him at home, because he will eventually know that I have a very outspoken woman who tells me everything. In fact, I'll give an example. I used to work with some people in NGO. This is not even a husband. A colleague in in the NGO world, the civil society world, we were always quarreling. Each time he says something, people just respect and stay quiet, whether he was wrong or not. And they kept, when they stay quiet, they'll go behind and talk. I told them I don't like talking behind. And then I started telling him openly that what you're doing is not correct. This is not good. I don't like this. The hate for me grew very wild. But after a short while, he discovered, and one day he actually confessed openly that the way he has seen his relationship with Tilda, he is going to liken it to the way a man should understand a woman. That he never used to understand me, but I kept being open. I've never changed. I've kept telling him what is wrong. And he has realized that I am helping him to grow up. That is what women should do to their husbands. Be honest to your husband. Motivate him. Motivate him. I like the way Veronica said it. We women, we don't appreciate, we take men for granted. Come on. You think that because I am married to this man, he is my husband, I don't need to appreciate him because after all, whatever he brings home, he has to do it. Is a must. No, who told you that? It is not a must. It is not a must that he must bring it home. When your husband does any little thing, you have to appreciate him. If you don't appreciate him, you will not motivate him to bring more. Most women don't appreciate their husbands. They don't even say thank you. They don't even say please and thank you. For them, they give an order. You have to motivate your husband. You have to appreciate him. You have to make him to feel that he has somebody around him who is keeping him on the check, who is appreciative of him. Many women have lost it because they don't respect their husband. Respect here doesn't mean that you should become a footstool to your husband. No. Respect is reciprocal, and it can only come if you offer respect. Your husband will respect you. Those women who respect their husbands will bear with me. They will tell me that their husbands respect them, just like Veronica was saying. You know, there's another thing that we women do, and I really want to shout out to women, and I'm frowning as I'm shouting out to women. Many women do not maintain themselves to be attractive to their husbands.
What do you mean?
I mean, you know, when once they get married, they say, oh, he's my husband, I am married. And then they decide not, I don't know if they decide or they just carried away. They don't keep themselves attractive. Those who don't go out, stay at home moms, most of them will stay the whole day without even taking a bath, without dressing up. When they see you dressing up, they'll ask you, where do you want to go? You don't dress up because you want to go out, you dress up to be attractive. And when you say,
this is Chat Night Africa Live, and
he will be
on the line. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, he is attracted to you. You draw him towards you. Most women, when they get married and they start delivering their children, completely
Chat Night Africa Live,
and they are no longer doing anything to attract the husband. Husband love is different from children's love. Many of us have transferred our love from the husband to the children, and so everything you are doing for the child, your husband is hungry. Oh, I'm preparing food for the children, I'm feeding the children. Why don't you share your time? Why don't you even bring the food and then you tell your husband, look, let us be eating while I'm feeding the children. Or you two, you can be eating and feeding the children while we sit together. I want to rush and do what you want to eat specifically. Simple. Communication is key. The way we speak to each other makes each of us to either make it or mar it. And as I said as I started, I said, a woman has the power. The woman has the power to make or mar her marriage. You have the power to keep your marriage or to destroy it. Now, if you are not attractive, your husband will go look for that woman who is attractive out there. If your husband is coming back, you have removed your breastfed your child, and you've just thrown it around. You are just sitting there naked, half naked, looking so dirty, the house is not attractive. What do you expect that man to do? He will carefully go quietly and look for a place where he will be received in cleanliness, in attractiveness. So make your homes attractive. A few days ago, I told women that if you see your husband running after a woman out there, critically look at what that woman is doing and try to do. You will see your husband will come back home. Even though it's not in all cases, because some men just want to flirt around. But in many cases, we women push our husbands out without knowing. I once wrote a small article on violence on women by women. This, I did not mean violence on a woman by another woman. I meant violence on a woman by herself. Some of those things that you do and you attract violence from within your home to yourself. If you are not welcoming to your husband, he comes back home. You ask Mary, who is the house girl, to welcome him at the door. Mary welcomes him. You ask Mary to bring his slippers. Mary brings. You ask Mary to serve his food. Mary serves. You ask Mary to do everything he asks is Mary. You call Mary. You are just sitting there, Mary. And then towards the end of the day, you ask Mary. He wants to go to bed. Instead of you leading your husband to bed, as I said earlier, you ask Mary to go and make up the bed. Mary is the first person your husband sees in the morning. The first person he sees when he comes back from work. The last person he sees before he goes to bed. What do you think will happen between your husband and Mary? You are exposing Mary to your husband because he will start seeing you in Mary. He will start seeing Mary like the woman he got married to. And then when he loses and goes away, you start blaming him. Women, take back your duty. Women, take back your position. That's what I'm saying. We have a lot of little things to do. That we are working class women, that we are career women, has nothing to do with our own role in the family. While we strive for equality, equality here means equality of existence. While we strive to be recognized as human beings made in the image of God, we should also strive to do our roles and do them correctly, because we have different roles. We have different things that we are supposed to do. We should be able to do them, because if you start running after your career and you drop your roles at home, then you will be on a balance that is not balanced. You will be bent somewhere. So we need to balance them so that we can be.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you. This is Chat Night Africa live from Douala, Cameroon. Connecting is Tilda Kumichi, the talk show queen. We appreciate the fact that you should be sleeping now, but because you care so much about families sticking together, being together, you decided to stay up awake while others are sleeping to talk, to come on Chat Night Africa roaring like a lioness. And we said earlier on that today, all cards will be put on the table. We will not tiptoe around issue. That's why we're being very blunt and direct on matters that matter to you watching. If you're not married today, you'll be married tomorrow, or probably you have relatives who are married. Question for you, Tilda. First, before I thought about this program, I talked to a lot of men around, and the persistent complaint that I heard from men was that many women are not clean. You know what I mean? The hygienic, the home, body clean, they're just not clean. Bedroom not clean, living room themselves. Let's be honest, not every woman, I want to insist that not every woman we're talking about a lot that just turn men off. It's that a turn off.
Yeah, of course, it's true. There's some women who are not conscious of their body hygiene. There's some women, even amongst us women, you know, we have teeth, our mouths have cavity. Sometimes even me, when I have cavity in my mouth, I feel mouth odor. Some of us are not conscious of that. And so if you are a woman who has cavity in your mouth, you have to keep your mouth clean. You have to be always clean. You have to go to the doctor to go and fill up your mouth so that your teeth will be okay again, and then you will not be offensive when you open your mouth. Your husband will feel comfortable to kiss you. Some women are really dirty. Some women, when they pass by, you hear a terrible stench. You hear an odor, a body odor. We know we women, we have the way our system is. If we are not hygienic, we will have body odor at all times. So sometimes we need to shave our armpits. We need to shave our inner bodies and keep our bodies clean. How do you keep your underwears? Because even no matter how beautiful you look, no matter how dressed you are, if your underwears are not clean, they are not good, you will have body odor. So some men are saying that some women are not hygienically upright. They are right. Some women, when they jump out of bed, especially women who are working, they don't keep their homes clean. They don't take time. Come on, even if you have house girls or house helps in your house, make sure that you take off time to clean your home. It is very important. Make sure that you take off time to clean your home. Make sure that once in a while, once in a week, your free time should be for you to clean your home, for you to cook for your husband. Men love to eat our food. Let's cook for them. I would like to say something divine. We have
Yes,
to
go ahead.
make your husband, the man in your life, to feel that you need him. You can make him to feel that you need him just by being clean, just by being hygienically upright. You can make it by the things you do, by the food you cook, by the way you speak to him, by being nice to him. You have to make him feel that you love him and you need him. Some of us make as if we don't even need the husbands. I beg, I'm not a small girl. I beg, don't disturb me. Some of us do that. When you do that, you are sending your husband to the next girl who is waiting hungrily to take him home. Veronica said it already. We have to give him space. If your husband is always by you and sometimes he says he wants to stroll out with his friends, give him space. Allow him to go out. Some of us are so nosy around. We don't want our husbands even to have some time even with their friends. Give them space. The day we shall be talking about men, we will give men their own share of the story. But for now, we are talking about women. Give your husband space and be a great cook. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. That is what some people say. What attracts a man to love women is when you cook for him and you cook what he loves. Some women don't even know what their husbands love. So when they wake up in the morning, they do a general cooking. They just cook a pot of food. Whatever the husband sees he should eat. No. Why don't you check out to know what he loves? Or maybe something special? Something special. Yes, the abundant, my pastor is saying that women have to learn how to smell good. There's a lot of body sprays that people that they sell everywhere and they're cheap. Learn to smell good. It's very important. Flirt with your husband.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
It means Veronica just described it, how she flirts with her husband. That sometimes she wakes up in the morning and she comes down to the living room just dressed in a sexy manner. Dress sexy in your bedroom. What is it in your bedroom that you cannot even wear a small a small
Victoria's Secrets.
nightwear? Yes, nightwear that is transparent. Why? What are you hiding? Why are you looking only for? Why are you always looking for darkness before you can be with your husband? Why can't you move around? I will quote the Bible a bit. There is a place in Genesis that says, they shall both be naked and they will not be ashamed. This one shows that when you marry, you will be with your husband, you should not be ashamed. So why should you not be able to flirt with your husband? Dance a bit in front of him. Flirt, just make. This one brings me to this very important one. Stay in your courtship.
What do you
I will
mean?
explain. Stay in your courtship mind. When we are in courtship, we do very funny things to attract each other. Why is it that this mind disappears along the over the years? You have to stay in your courtship mind. That means there are times that you'd run and then just jump into your husband's arms, or you just touch him. Some couples don't touch each other. Yes, Minister Veronica said she sleeps naked. Yes. First of all, it's not even hygienic to be sleeping with underwears. So why are you with your husband? You're tightening your skin. Some of them put on this, what they call collang, to sleep. It is outrageous.
These women are on fire on the platform here today. Go ahead. We have to say these things. Look, this is very important. We have to say these things in the most direct manner possible.
Yeah.
Because people are suffering in their houses in silence. I know that. I know that.
In fact, when you tie up your body before you sleep, it is first of all unhygienic and unhealthy for you, and then it destroys your relationship. How can you be sleeping with somebody you once said, I love you, and then now when you want to sleep, you go and tie your body? We have to flirt with our husbands. Flirt with your partner. Show him some love. Dance some music that you like. Just dance around him. Make him to feel good. Why not? Dress well and also bounce in front of him. Don't just go and begin to bounce out there when you see people. You start showing up. We need to look neat in our homes so that we flirt with our husbands. We attract them. You have to remember that each time your husband sees you, he should see you like he saw you the first day he fell in love with you. If you do that, you will be flirting with him. And then you have to, please, Learn to understand his language. Many women don't know the language of their husband. That is, there are certain ways that husbands talk to their people that they love so much. Learn that language so that when he talks, when he speaks, even amongst people, people will not listen, but you will listen. There are some men, if you meet them in public, they may not want you to speak. They may have a reason. If you just jump in and you want to show that you know how to, you are so eloquent and you know how to do this, you have not listened to his language. We have to treat him with care. Men, I always go back to this appellation. We call women in pidgin, but in pidgin we call men man pikin. Because, my dear ladies, your husband lives from the mother's breast to your own breast. Your husband remains your baby. Your husband is your first baby. Take care of him. Pamper him. Many of us are needy. Many women don't know that. We don't know that men also need our arms to cry on. Many of us think that we are the only people who can break down emotionally, who need to be pampered, who need to be comforted. No. Who told you that a man cannot be pampered? You need to nurture him, make him to feel
This
love.
is Chat Night Africa.
Yes, bring him to yourself. Make him to know that you value him. Now I will talk about one important. Respect him whether he has money or not.
Chat Night Africa Live until that, yes.
A few days ago, I was telling people that I was talking to a group of women and I told them, I asked them if any place on the marriage certificate or in the Bible or in their tradition that says that you must only get married to a man who works, that a man must be a worker. Who says? A woman can be working. If your husband has not had employment, it's not a curse. It's just the same, because it might have been you, your husband will be working and you are not working. So those women who are working and then their husbands are not working and they take their mouths, they run their mouths and run their husbands out of their homes, you have to stop. You have to know that anybody in a family can bring back something to the home. Rather than running your mouth carelessly and insulting your husband, good for nothing husband. In fact, I had to cancel one couple, and this was the case. The man was not working. The wife was working. Just in my office, when I brought them, two of them, the kind of words that woman threw at that man, I told her, when we were two of us, I told her that, my sister, if I were not a counselor, I would have not even listened to you anymore, because you were so rude. That man is a respectable man. If not, he would have slapped you in front of us in the office. Because the woman told the man that you are a good for nothing man, you are a vegetable, I feed you. Who do you think you are? Useless man like you. Your children are even ashamed of you. How do you tell your children that your husband is not working to the extent that they should be ashamed of him? Why don't you fill the gap? We women, it's about time for us to stop thinking that only men can bring. The hand that gives is up. If you want to be equal, if you want to be viewed as an equal human being created in the image of God, do things that people who are equal do. Provide for your home. Support your husband. I believe that we women, we are like Aarons in the Bible. In the Bible, I will quote again. In the Bible, Moses was doing it, and when this women, Aaron was supporting. In the Quran says that a woman should look beautiful, should wake up in the morning, dress up and look pretty for her husband. Those are things of faith, and we look up to this faith. So what happens that we women cannot make ourselves pretty and then respect our husbands whether they work or not? If your husband is not working, make him clean, make him palatable for you. If you love men who are looking good, make him look good. Food for your table.
I have a question for you. This is Chat Night Africa. But before I ask that question, let me welcome my brother Julius Esunge. I can't wait to take brother Julius Esunge on this platform. One of the best Bible teachers I've had to listen to. This guy, when he starts blending, he's a math professor. When he uses math to explain concepts, you will listen to him for many, many hours without getting tired. So, brother Julius, I'll be connecting with you to see what topic we can discuss on Chat Night Africa Live. Ladies, good people, the purpose of this show today is how we can actually bring some practical ways through which women can make themselves, can turn themselves into the magnet the magnet that the husband really closes from work and is running home to come and meet you at home. It's very important that we say these things in very plain language. We don't put water, like they say at home, we don't put water in our mouth and talk. I was reading somewhere, Tilda, that beauty, and I'd like you to comment on this, that beauty can take you into a palace, but it takes character to keep you in that palace. Tilda, you're coming on that. And then we'll talk about in-laws. And then we'll talk about the role of in-laws. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I say this every day. I tell people that beauty is not what we see facially. No matter how strikingly beautiful you are to the eye, what brings out the beauty is the inner beauty that comes from your attitude.
You having yes, go ahead.
No matter how beautiful you are in your home, if you are not that woman that comes out, brings out the inner beauty by the way you treat your husband, by the way you welcome people to your home, by the way you speak, then you are not beautiful. Beauty is not what we see. And I say this even to all the young girls. That is why there is a saying, Divine, that beauty is to the eyes of the beholder, because some man may just be watching, looking at a woman who is very strikingly beautiful, but seeing the very ugly part of that woman. So you are being beauty comes up. It takes the outer and the inner to make you that beautiful. Now to comment on
question. Yes, go ahead.
I was saying that now to comment on something that is very, very salient. Many women don't know. You know why I like Veronica Pochu? Because she's so self-confident. In fact, I like her for her confidence. And I am sure Mr. Pochu admires her for that. Women, you have to be self-confident. Men love self-confident women. Men don't like nagging women, complaining women. We have to move from the nagging street, from the complaining street to the self-confidence street. We have to bring out that confidence that is in us. As a woman who is self-confident, I have seen that men really admire women who are self-confident. Some of them may fear to get such women as wives, but I bet you they like women who are self-confident. Because when you are self-confident, you will heal your marriage. You'll be able to speak out what you don't feel good is good in your marriage. You'll be able to express yourself. And when you express yourself, you will change things in your family.
Tilda, here's a complaint coming from a man. A husband met me and complained that the way his wife treats his mother is just sickening. Now we're talking about in-laws. Sometimes in-laws are living with you in the house. How is the wife to treat her in-laws in such a way that that triggers affection from her husband?
Thank you very much. Before I answer that question, I'd like to say something on a comment which says that some men refuse their wives from dressing up. There are some men like that, but you, the woman, you can get your husband to understand you can make him to understand that you are dressing up for him. Sometimes they refuse with some motives. That alone is in that family, but every family knows what it is that binds them together. Now, let me come to your question, to answer your question. Many families.
You are watching Chat Night Africa Live. Yes, go ahead, please.
In-laws are both women. They're also women as well as their in-laws, mothers-in-laws. When I talk of in-laws here, I want to put a tag on women, mother-in-laws. Most marriages are breaking apart because of mothers-in-law. I will say what they should do. Women, when you are getting married, understand that you are getting married to a boy who had been glued to the mother. That is one. So understand that it would take time even to win off this boy from his mom. Also understand that the love of a mother to a son is different from the love of a man to the wife. I am saying this to us women. Women also understand that you are not coming to cut off the biological relationship between this woman and this man. and you are not replacing. You may be a temporary replacement when the mother is not there, but you are not coming to become the mother. You are positioned as a wife. The duties of a wife are different from the duties of a mother. This I'm saying to the wives. Now to the sons. When you are ripe enough to get married, you have to start weaning yourself from your mother. Weaning here means that when you get married, you don't have to go to your mother for any small query in your marriage. You don't have to think that it is your mother who should be deciding for your home. I'm saying this to the men, boys who get married. When you are ripe enough for marriage, you have to understand that there is a distinction between your love for your mother, and the love that you have for your wife, for your would-be wife. So you have to come out from that myth that my mother will keep directing me, because this is one of the things that destroys marriages. Most young men, when they get married, they want to be leaving their homes according to the dictates of their moms. And this has destroyed so many marriages. We have to be careful. If you are getting married to a woman, put that distinction between your wife and your mother. Now, to the mother-in-law, before I tell what a woman can do to get love from the in-law. A mother-in-law, if you are a mother-in-law to me because you are my husband's mother, you are automatically my mother. Because if you love your son and you don't love me, then you don't love your son. Because if your son could love me to bring me in to your family, I would say, like the com people say, that if your son is married to me, I am now your daughter and you are my mother's son. So mothers-in-law should stop being police in their son's home. Because most mothers-in-law come to their son's home in the morning when their son is still in the room with their wives. You are eavesdropping at the door. Some of them get so angry and frustrated, they go and open the door. It is not your place. In that house, you are a visitor, even though you are the mother of that son, because you have your own husband. You have your own husband somewhere. Even if your husband has died or you did not have a husband, when you come to your son's house, the mother of that house is wife, and you are a guest to that home. So women should stop fighting other women. Stop destroying the homes of other women. Now I want to talk to everybody. When you marry a man as a woman, the first thing is stop looking at the mother as your mother. If you put in your mind that the mother of your husband is your mother and the mother of your wife is your mother, there will never be problems. Because whatever this woman does, you see them as your mother and you will treat them like that. So I'm calling on the men, stop getting your husband, your wife, your mothers to control your home. Because Divine, the problem comes from the men most often.
Yeah, actually, we will be doing a special show taking the other side of the coin. So, men, you are not out of the woods. You are not off the hook. Today, because we are celebrating mothers, we're talking more on the side of the women. Now, we will be wrapping up pretty soon, but give us in bullet point format what your take-home message, what the take-home message today should be for women.
For women, I would tell them that, look, marriage is a beautiful thing and it was instituted for a purpose. So don't endure marriage, enjoy marriage. If you are enduring marriage, it means that there is something wrong, and that wrong thing might just be coming from you. So I want to tell women that in bullet form, you have to respect your husband, love your husband, respect him, be open to him, be truthful, tell him openly what you don't feel is good and what you feel is good. Appreciate him, give him attention. Give him attention. Don't make him to feel like he is a bore to you. Flirt with him. Lead him to bed. Give him sex. Cook food for him. Make him to feel. Look, we have grown up in the African society where they have mystified sex, mystified anything that surrounds sex, to the extent that even in marriages, you see some people who get married, they have never seen the nakedness of each other because they are doing hide and seek. You have to feel free with your husband, with your partner. Feel free with that partner. If you cannot feel free with your partner to know every part of their body, it means that there is no love amongst you. So you have to make sure that you respect your husband's relationships. Respect your husband's relationships. If you are rude to everybody who comes to your home through your husband, it means that you are rude to your husband, because even the people will start to push him away from them. You must cook well. Take time to cook. Stop leading the house girl to do things for your husband, because you are actually leading that house girl to bed for your husband. If you keep sending your husband, your house girl, to do everything, you are leading your husband to bed. The last word I will say before you say something again is that if you are a woman, I want to call on women to stop fighting with side chicks, but rather correct themselves. If you see your husband running after a side chick, first of all, look into yourself. What have I done to make this man not be attracted to me again? What is it that I'm doing that is pushing this man to go out there? Check yourself. Go back to yourself and check your home. If you see that you're not doing anything wrong, you check what that man is looking for in that woman. Maybe the woman is dressing better, well. Maybe the woman speaks gently. Maybe the woman has some gentle ways that attracts the man. Look at what that woman is doing and do in your home and see if the man will come back. Then please be open to your husband. Discuss those things with him. Don't just keep nagging and frowning. Make sure and stop fighting with that woman out there. Most women, when you see a husband going after a woman and you start fighting with that woman, you have sent the man away. The two women could fight to stop the man from flirting. The man is comfortable in woman A, is comfortable in woman B, and is comfortable at home. Then all the three women are fighting. Who is the fool? You, the women. Because the man has no problem. He's comfortable in what he's doing. So we should try to stop this by being real and speaking out real to our husbands.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Tilda. Tilda will be in the United States very soon. And when she comes, we will share a common platform to talk on matters that matter. Just one last word before we wrap up the show. And I have a special song, very, very special for everybody. It's so good, you don't want to leave without listening to it. Tilda, your very last word, please.
Yeah, my last word is that marriage is for enjoyment. And I pray that everybody who has a partner should enjoy. If you don't have a partner, wait on the Lord and you will have one. When you have one, keep that partner. Make sure you flirt with your husband. That's the key. Make sure you attract your husband. That is another key. Flirt and attract him. Because when you attract him, he will not be.
This is Chat Night Africa Live. And
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tilda. We're having some internet connection problems, so we will wrap it off here with Tilda. As the saying goes, take care of what you have today before it becomes what you had. Thank you, Tilda. Thank you so much. As you exit the platform, we will share some beautiful, beautiful music. This has been Chat Night Africa. And take note, coming soon on this platform, Nyiringabo Ruhumuliza, Mr. Gatete Nyiringabo Ruhumuliza will be talking politics. That's likely going to be Thursday, hardcore politics. To miss Mr. Gatete Nyiringabo Ruhumuliza connecting live from Kigali, Rwanda. And that's how we wrap up this show. Here is something for you. Take it. And this is Ex Malaya on Chat Night Africa Live. Matters that matter. And your host has been Divine Chamukong. Dance time.
Sogname, ma vai, non vi
That has been Chat Night Africa Live. And you are listening to Ex Malaya. If you like what you heard in the show today, share this video. Oh man for dong, oh man for dong. This has been Chat Night Africa Live. Thank you to Veronica Fortune and Tilda Kumichi. On Father's Day, we will be talking about issues on the other side of the coin. Chat Night Africa Live. Merci à tout le monde. Thank you to everybody. Share this broadcast, share this broadcast. Je vous aime. Il faut que je parte. Merci à tout le monde. Au revoir. Merci.
Pour eux, le stress, pour construire, non détruire.
And your host has been Divine Chamokong. I will see you on this platform very, very soon. Thank you. Merci. Happy Mother's Day to all the women watching this broadcast. Ozuma Uche, Gael Bridget Gemon. Dance with me. Madame Patricia Gang. And all of you.
Tu le sais, regarde les beats, Ex Malaya, on avance, on construit, et tu le sais. Si tu parles dans le dos, c'est qu'on est devant toi. On n'a pas le temps, on avance,
Thank you.
on construit, tu le sais.
I've got to go.
Bacardi, Malaya, les jaloux vont périr. Amuse-toi.